Hello folks, how you doing? You alright? You alright? Well, what she forgot to mention was I'm not a scientist either, so I think I got lost on my way from Glasgow. Yes, well, you may notice by my accent I'm not exactly from Glasgow. It's very interesting being English and living in Bridgeton in the east end of Glasgow. I can't go to a pub because people think I'm a policeman or a priest, and it's very interesting taking people's confession in the corner of the pub and then taking them off to prison. Yes, so I've been in Bridgeton for about 18 years. About 5 years ago, my next door neighbour came up to me and she said, "You're Scottish, aren't you?" I thought, is that a question or a statement? Well, I was born in Derby. Both my parents were born in Derby, so I guess that makes me English. And she went, "No! You're Scottish!" It was flipping terrifying. So I went inside and I sat down and had a cup of tea. It took me, thank you. One voice there. Whoa. It took me 3 weeks to figure out she was paying me a compliment. And I'm actually an adopted Scot. Yes. So, I better talk a little bit about my research. It's actually into humour, believe it or not. Theology, humour in theology. Studied a little bit about Socrates. He got in trouble with the Greeks for not worshipping their gods. He believed that happiness could be found in knowing what the difference is between good and evil, and making the soul as good as it could be. Jesus said you may have life and live it to the fullest. I got to learn one theological term which was very interesting in my first year. The word perichoesis. And when I first heard it, I thought, that sounds a bit odd, a bit more like a liver complaint than anything to do with theology. But what it means is it's used to describe dance, a circle of dance between Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. In a theological dictionary, it's described as interpenetration of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It's a holy threesome. It was very interesting learning about this at college. We went away for a coffee and someone came back after the coffee and said, well, I quite enjoyed the intercourse in the discussion there. One feminist didn't like the fact that it was called interpenetration. She said, it's all about you men fixated on your penises. It's not about interpenetration, it's about wet Ooziness. Yeah, so that was interesting. I get to go to a few churches every now and again. Nice people in churches have very nice, polite conversations, which makes it kind of awkward for me with coming from the east end of Glasgow. I generally want to fart when people have nice conversations, just for something to do. Turned up to the church one time, motorcycle helmet, jacket, leathers. Someone came up to me and said, are you on your motorcycle tonight? Thought, helmet, leather jacket. Yeah, okay, I'm fine. I'm on my motorcycle tonight. How's you? How's your week been? Second person came up to me. By now my arse cheeks are starting to twitch a little bit. When they said, are you on your motorcycle tonight? I went, yes, I'm on my bike tonight. How are you? The third person came up to me and said, are you on your motorcycle tonight? I went, no. I'm wearing leather trousers because I'm going to a fetish bar later on. Yes, and the pastor said, can I come too? I've got my gimp mask. A little bit about Bridgeton. I lived next to Glasgow Green. I got little Jack Russell. I take him for a walk there every day. Another interesting thing that had happened there one time, there was having a little chat with another dog walker with his little miniature Doberman, Davy. Saw a woman in the distance and she clocked me and she was giving me this intense stare. And I thought, oh, that's kind of strange. came up to me and started stroking my shoulders. And she said, "Oh, I love your leather jacket. I love your broad shoulders." And I'm getting strangely aroused, which kind of distracted from the fact that this was really weird. So she kept doing this for a while, and then she turned. I thought about taking for a cup of tea at one point. But she turned, and she went, "I'm gonna bar you!" So not only did I learn in the East End of Glasgow, the women give you insults for compliments, but they have some very strange mating techniques. Yeah. So research, spent quite a lot of time on my own, of course. Live on my own as well. So I'm actually very delighted when the Jehovah's Witnesses come and they get to talk about theology. There was one time I was sat at home, put the TV on, was about to watch the news, then I think it was Life on Earth, then perhaps a Channel 4 programme about dogging, and the knock comes on the door. It's the Jehovah's Witness. So we got to talk about theology. It was delightful. Until I got to the point where I talked about perichoresis and interpenetration. And strangely enough, the lady thanked me for the conversation, but she looked a little bit nervous when she left. And the Jehovah's Witnesses haven't come to visit me ever since. So thank you for listening. You've been brilliant. I've been Adam. Thank you.